Hello, everybody. We're now here, week rundown here, our Premier League rundown, week 12, with JJ is a winner. Welcome.
I'm in a bad mood today, Nat.
Why?
Well, I'm in a bad mood, but more importantly, when I'm in a bad mood, it's all business, and today I'm going to absolutely kill it. I'm in a bad mood, I've got bad intentions, and the intentions are to destroy the bookie this weekend.
All right.
On the microphones.
And I tell you who should be in a good mood is Mr. Nigel Seeley, because he currently is leading on the board there. A profit of 10 units, 30 wins, 22 losses, a return on investment of 119%. Nigel, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it doesn't come as a shock, to be fair, Natalie. I mean, it's just what I've done for years and years. So, it's no shock to me.
Modest, are we?
Well, got to bear in mind as well, I've predicted, 115 games. I think Nigel's predicted about 22. So, anyway, I'm about to move it forward. I've done 115 games. I'm still up. How much am I up, Nat?
You are up. No, you're doing very well as well. You've got an ROI of 107, but you've got a profit of 8.5 units.
I'm up 7%, and I'll be totally honest, I've been a little bit taking the piss, really. And, not really, just keeping my level above the 5% mark. But now I'm going to really show you what it's all about and why I'm the best handicapper in the world. I'm looking to be up by 75%, and we're going to start today.
All right. Just before, Nigel, I've got to ask you, what have you done to your head? Because the last video we had people commenting. So at least tell them now, and then no need for people to comment about your head. What did you do to yourself, Nigel?
Voldemort from Harry Potter. I fell off a bike.
It wasn't JJ, was it?
No.
You didn't pay him a visit.
JJ was going to go very rude then, ask me what kind of bike it was. It was an actual rally. But no, I took my son and I fell over and hit a rock. Moral of the story is always wear a crash helmet.
Well, I'll tell you what,
my arms, my knees, everything.
Well, you may be saying that he fell off a bike. What I think happened is, because we know he's a West Ham fan, probably someone put the nut on him at a West Ham game. Is that actually what happened there, Nigel?
You've absolutely got me straight away, JJ. You know the score, mate.
Told you that, Nat.
Well,
see?
He's actually an Arsenal fan, which leads us to our first match preview. The biggest highlight match of the weekend there, Manchester United versus Arsenal. Interestingly, though, Man United's odds have dropped. They're now 2.56. Arsenal's have increased 3.07. I'm not playing the outright. I think this could be either way. But if I had to, I'd actually look for more on the Arsenal side. Nigel, I'll start with you.
Arsenal don't have a very good record at Manchester United. Old Trafford, they always seem to get beat by them. They beat last year 3-2. Famously, they got beat 8-2 a few seasons ago. But this is a big game for both sides. Man United need to win. Mourinho's under big pressure there, I think. He's got to get a victory. Arsenal, I think there's always some stigma attached with Arsenal that they can never beat the big sides, but they always beat the lesser sides, sort of flat track bullies. And I think this is a big game for them to prove that they can win here. I think this is going to be very cagey. I agree with you. I'm not going to have a bet on the outright markets. I think it's going to be... But what I'm going to do here, if you look at the record between these two sides, goals are always on the menu. Lots of goals when these two teams played. Met last season, there was 8 goals scored in the 2 games. But I'm going against that. I'm swimming against the trend. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals in this game. I think this is a huge game for both sides for differing reasons. Man United not scoring many goals. I'm not quite convinced by Rashford yet. Wayne Rooney, I don't know if he'll feature. And I think Arsenal will be delighted to keep it very tight. Back to the centre-half, Koscielny and Mustafi are probably one of the 2 best centre-half partnerships in the Premier League. And with a good goalie as well, I'm going all in on under 2.5 goals.
All right, under 2.5 goals. I have to say, though, I hope it's a 1-1 draw then, Nigel, because I'm going to go for both teams to score 1.8. I think they've both got at least a goal in them. Obviously, last fixture at Old Trafford ended 3-2. Not expecting as many goals as that, but I'm hoping 1 goal each. What have you got?
Well, you shouldn't be wanting that a draw, being a United fan, right? This is a must-win game for United. I mean, I think they've got like 21 points. This is a must-win game. For them to stay in contention, they have to win this. This has to be a statement win. I'm taking United just to win. I'm getting 2.56. I would even be tempted taking them like minus 1.5 goals. But no, let's go conservative. And I'm just going to take United to win. And I believe they get the job done. Because if they don't get the job done, they're in really, really big trouble, aren't they?
I think they've got actually 18 points. And then top place Liverpool has got 24.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal just 2 points behind them, and they're in 4th.
So I'm giving them 21 points already, aren't I? I'm saying they're going to win. But they've really, really got to get it going, Nigel, haven't they?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the other thing as well, I think is a big advantage this game as well for for Manchester United is they don't play in the Champions League. I know they've got the Europa League on the Thursday, but Arsenal have a huge game against Paris Saint-Germain, which is massive for them. So that's another thing that could be on their mind, and I think that's a big plus for Man United in the match markets. I wouldn't be surprised to see it 0-0. I really wouldn't. I think it's going to be very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace versus Man City. Crystal Palace 6.85, Man City 1.52, and the draw 4.54. Not bad, to be honest, Man City for an Aka bet. Quite like those odds. I'm just going to play Man City -1. Crystal Palace are in awful form. Yes, they've got the home advantage, but I think they've got 4 back-to-back losses. And I think Manchester United will win this one. If they just win it by a goal, I'll get my money back. Man City, so thanks. Man City -1. There you go. What are you going for?
Well, I'm not going to be doing the captain obvious play. I thought Palace were unlucky when they hosted Liverpool not to get the win. I love it. Absolutely. If I was laying action as well, love it. Take all your action on that. Palace, I like it. A whopping 6.8. I believe that Palace at Selhurst Park can put performance in. Man City can give you goals. And I reckon Man City are going there, not knowing what it's all about. And Palace get the win there in South London. What do you reckon, Nigel?
I think Man City win the game. Last season, they met 3 times. All 3 games Man City won. I was at this game 2 seasons ago, and I've never been to a game more one-sided. And Crystal Palace actually won it. They won it 2-1. It was all Man City. How they won it, I'll never know. I think City are on something special. Again, goes back to the fact of the Champions League. City have a big Champions League game in their group, a must-win match against Borussia Mönchengladbach. That might be on their minds. That might affect team selection. But I think Man City will be too strong. I'm going with Natalie, Manchester City -1 goal.
Sorry, JJ.
Well, you're both wrong.
Sorry.
Move on. Let's get into the next one,
Thanks, Nigel. Siding with the winner. Us winners are
We
sticking
talked about
together.
all our records. What's your record there?
Oh, my record is... I'm doing better than you, worse than Nigel. Nigel's the one's in the lead at the moment.
Yeah.
I've got a profit of 9.6. You've got a profit of 8.5. Nigel's got a profit of 10.
Oh.
Is that all right?
Well, it's all going to be changing after this week.
So me and Nigel, the winners, are
Well, like I said, Nigel's only bet about 4 games, hasn't he? So we can't take it seriously.
52, I think.
Well, you know, I've done over 100, haven't I? So.
As have I.
And you have as well.
I've done as many as you have.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, to quote you.
Yeah.
Everton versus Swansea. Everton 1.6, Swansea 6.21, and the draw 4.53. I forgot to mention earlier, all these odds with Pinnacle. We are powered today by Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Both teams hit or miss right now, but struggling Swansea, they really aren't doing well. It is a must win for them. But Everton at home, I can't look past the Everton win, to be honest with you. And at 1.6, it's low, but I like that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
A bit low. I mean, I just think Swansea's absolute garbage now. I agree with you. I think Everton can win. But being an Everton, I know they're always liable to have a slip-up. But I really believe they get the job done. I believe they're going to put 3 or 4 past this team. I think they're absolute garbage. But I'll be a little bit conservative. I'll take Everton -1, get 1.90. Close to even money as I'm going to get. But I reckon they could absolutely hammer them. Really, I do. I think they're garbage and they're going down.
Yeah, and undefeated as well, Everton at home. Nigel?
Totally agree with you, JJ, on this one. I think Everton, they haven't won in their last 5 games, but Swansea haven't won in their last 10, and they've conceded at least 2 goals in 8 of those 10 games. Everton with Lukaku playing well, firing all cylinders. I think this is a very one-sided home win. I like the -1 at 1.9. That's my best bet in this game. I would back them to win, but I wouldn't back them in a single. I'd probably back them in a weekend accumulator. But I do like Everton. They're not having a good run, but they're going to be far too good. And I think Bob Bradley, the manager at Swansea, could be the next Premier League manager to lose his job. I think he could be gone before Christmas. He's only just had the job 6 or 7.
That'd be like a record, mate, wouldn't it?
Well, they've got to do something panicky. Well, the record's held by Sam Allardyce. That's the record. But England. But I think it'll be gone because they're in danger of going down. And there's some good managers out there. I mean, Ryan Giggs is constantly linked with this job. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them make a move. And the crowd needs to get something going for them. And they don't trust this manager. And I think they're in big trouble. Everton -1. Bradley's woes continue.
All right, it's both Nige and JJ. Everton -1. I like the straight Everton win here. Okay, Southampton versus Liverpool. Southampton 3.6, Liverpool 2.13, draw 3.64. All those odds with Pinnacle. Interesting match for Liverpool, I think. You know, they've got to keep top spot. There's a few teams right behind them. If they lose this match, then obviously they will be going back down the table. I'm not playing the outright. So you?
Overrated.
Who, Liverpool?
I think so. And they're also going to be overrated there on the prices. The punters be going crazy. I mean, that's why we got such a stupid price there. 2.13 I'm seeing with Liverpool. I'll leave it to the last minute and I'll play Southampton plus half a goal. What do you reckon on that, Nigel?
Well, I think your value is absolutely right what you're saying. I think Liverpool are always overrated by the punters. They love them. They love Klopp. And I don't think you can win a Premier League title scoring 4 goals and conceding 3. And that's what you get with Liverpool. They concede far too many goals. When it comes down to the business end, the likes of Chelsea who are keeping clean sheets and Arsenal, I think will get the better of them. The value is all for Southampton. It's no doubt about it. But Liverpool keep. I'm not going to go with the match market. I can see exactly where you're coming from as far as a pro punter point of view. But if you ask me, to put my neck on the line, who's going to win it? I've got to go for Liverpool. But they're no value. The one thing I do think will happen in the game, and the one thing I still think, even at the short prices value, is both teams to score.
Yeah.
This game was 6-1, 3-2 last season, 6-1 in the Capital One Cup. Every time these two meet, there's goals. And I think there's got to be goals in this match. I mean, the way Liverpool play, they push up so offensively, they leave themselves open. And they don't care if they concede 2 because they can score 4. Yeah. This could be absolutely anything. But I think goals definitely are the way to go. Both teams to score is a yes.
Yeah. Nigel, right behind you on that one as well. Both teams to score 1.71. Last head-to-head, like you mentioned, Southampton 3-2. I think we've got goals and from both sides.
And I've got the sneaky 0.5 of a goal, haven't I?
I know, that's quite a mature bet.
Well, what it is, like I told you, I'm raising my game now. I'm
that.
with the syndicates in Asia. I'm the professional gambler. I put more money on these Premier League games than most people make in a lifetime. And I'm just going to now really start showing off and let the figures do the talking. So we're now going to see lots of little different things I'm going to be doing over the coming weeks.
Well, nice. Well, 8.5 units in profit. That's it. That's
well,
good.
It's got to keep going up. I mean, I'm smashing it on the NFL, but I'd say I'm the best Premier League handicapper in the world. And by season's end, it will be proven.
All right. Stoke versus Bournemouth. Stoke 2.3, Bournemouth 3.4, and the draw 3.4 as well. 12th and 13th in the league. Is this got draw written over it? What's your thoughts on this match?
What do you reckon, Captain Obvious?
I'm not going to have a bet on this game, Jay. It's the only one I'm not going to have a bet on. I've got 9 bets. This one I'm going to swerve it. I think it's just could be anything. Like you can make a case for Stoke. It's 2 contrasting styles. Stoke much more physical and much more aerial threat. Against Bournemouth, a very attractive footballing side who are great at home, not so good away from home. It could be 0-0, it could be 3-3. I really haven't got a clue. I'll be interested to hear what you two have to say.
No, I did. If you look at their last head-to-heads, their sort of history together, there's always plenty of goals when these two teams meet, and from both sides. I'm actually, again, taking both teams to score 1.83. I don't think that it will either be 0-0 or 3-3. I think we're probably more looking like 3-3, personally.
Well, I hope you're right on that, Nat, because I'm actually taking the draw. I'm getting 3.4. They're so close to each other in the table. And I think both teams will be happy with a point. I think that's a very, very decent play. You heard it here first.
Okay. All right. Sunderland versus Hull. Again, 2 lower division teams. Sunderland want 2.13. Hull 3.94. Draw 3.33. Hull do have a good record, though, against Sunderland. But it is Sunderland who are the favourites to win on their turf. I don't think they have won on their turf, have they, Sunderland? They're due for a home win for their fans. But I'm not playing that. What are you thinking, Nigel?
Well, I look at this game and these are the 2 worst sides in the Premier League, as you said. Hull are just in complete disarray. They've just got their best player, the young defender, Keane, who was in the England squad. He's just got injured, so he's out for the rest of the season. It's a disaster for them. Sunderland do come here on the back of a win in their last game. They won at Bournemouth 2-1 in a surprise win, but prior to that, they weren't scoring goals. They were conceding goals for fun. I had a look at this game, and already in November, this is a 6-point relegation battle already, and there's no way he's looking about it. And I think that will sort of suffer the game we're going to see. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near football for the purists. I think it's going to be a really tight, dull affair, and I think both teams to score no here at 2.0 around that kind of price. It's a fantastic bet. I just can't see this being any entertainment, low on goals, low on action. It wouldn't surprise me again to see a 0-0 draw.
I think we could see goals in this match, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go against you here, Nigel, and I'm going to go both teams to score 1.95. I think that, like you said, it's that sort of relegation battle sort of match here. Both need to pick up 3 points. I think they're going to be trying their hardest to do so.
Yeah, well, I think they'll both be happy with a point each, these teams. They're both absolute garbage, these teams. And it's got, for me, draw written all over it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at that as well. Although, to be honest with you, if I had to give a team the first chance, it would be Hull, just based on their sort of record against Sunderland in the past. Yeah. What about you, Nigel?
I'm going with JJ, really. I'd have to go for the draw. I think a draw for both of these sides will probably take a draw now if it's offered to them. They're a long way to go in the football season, but they just need to stop the rot. Just get a point. I would probably go for the draw, but I just can't see goals. I can't see where you can make a case for goals in this game. And I just think what they've done in history means nothing in their predicament at the bottom of the Premier League table and the form they're in. So I think history goes out the window for this one. I'm going to go for just low scoring, no surprise, 0-0.
All right. Okay, Watford versus Leicester. Interesting match here. This is actually my only no bet of the 10 matches we're previewing. Watford 2.86, draw 2.74, and the draw 3.27. Obviously, Leicester, Premier League champions, they're down in 14th. But I tell you what, though, it's their away record that's really letting them down. So I am surprised to see them as that marginal favourites there. If I were to play, it would be a Watford win or the Watford draw, no bet. But I know the common consensus here is the Liverpool win. Start with you, JJ. What are you going for?
The Liverpool win.
Leicester win.
The Leicester
I'm ill
win.
today.
I know you are, darling.
Give me a break. With the Leicester win.
I'm just doing it because you know what they're like.
Yeah.
With Leicester, again, this is a very, very tricky one. All jokes aside, you're 100% right there, Nat. But I've been backing Watford a bit this year, but I really believe Leicester, we're getting into the bit of the season now, are going to put a performance in, and they're going to get 3 points, and Leicester win.
You wouldn't play the Leicester draw, no bet, though, just in case.
No, I don't bother.
Confident.
Don't bother that. Fortune favours the brave, and this is what's going to happen. Leicester will win.
All right, well, let's see what Nigel's thoughts are on this match. Nigel?
I've got no real view on the match outcome. If pushed, I'd agree with you, Natalie, and probably go towards Watford purely because of Leicester's bad record and the fact they have a huge Champions League game again in midweek. If they get something from that game, they're through to the last 16. And what you've seen with Claudio Ranieri this season, he's always put out cagey sides, and they've lost every game before a Champions League match, by the way. So I could see where you're coming from, Watford. I look at this game and it just screams out goals. You've got two strikers with pace in Troy Deeney and Jamie Vardy. But Jamie Vardy hasn't been playing in games before Champions League. They've gone with Salami and the other centre for the Ozaki. So they haven't really been putting him out in the game. So that could be a concern. Mahrez hasn't hit the heights. He may be rested again. I think team news will be crucial, especially for Leicester. But one thing I think they'll both score. I think goals is definitely the way to play in this one.
Yeah, something like the over 2.5 goals. Because I tell you what, Leicester have conceded 14 on the road, the most. That's the highest goal conceding record away. So obviously not something to be happy about. But Watford may take advantage of that, and that's why I would look to the Watford win personally. All right, Tottenham versus West Ham.
Oh, Nigel's team, West Ham. There we go.
Tottenham's he's a Gunners fan.
But he says he is, but he watches West Ham every week.
Well, it's free. I get there for nothing.
That's what I was thinking. I thought there's something going on there, why he's always watching West Ham.
Why is it free?
It's free. Pardon?
Why is it free?
It's one of my best friends is the managing director. So I get luxury hospitality food for me and my lad for nothing. It's Premier League game.
And they still give you headbutts there. It's murder day, mate, isn't it? It really is.
What happens when you don't tip or something? That's you walk away with
they
one of those.
glassed him, the poor bloke there. Well, I'll tell you what's going on here. Tottenham is going to hammer your mate's team. They might put 3 or 4 past them. West Ham are absolute garbage, and I'm taking Tottenham -1 goal. I should really take a -2 goals, but go on. I'll take a -1 goal, 2.5. They may put 3 or 4 past them. You heard it here first.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, though, they've coming from a succession of draws. 4 draws in a row.
They're crap.
1-1
They're garbage.
to Arsenal, 1-1 Leicester, 0-0 Bournemouth, 1-1 West Brom. It's about time, actually, they pick up and run. And Harry Kane's playing in this match, right, Nigel?
Yeah, he's back. Tottenham are still the only team unbeaten in the Premier League as well. So they're still not getting the credit they deserve really for that. They're defensively the best team defensively in the Premier League as well. They've got the best defensive record. And West Ham are bad, as JJ says. I mean, I've seen them a few times as we joking, but they're a very, very bang ordinary side. I'll give you a little pre-bet now. What you should have. West Ham at 9-1 to 10.0 to be relegated in the Premier League. I don't think they'll necessarily get relegated because they've got money to spend in January. I mean, they could go and spend 25 million on a striker. But the next 4 games in the Premier League are Tottenham away, Man United away, Arsenal and Liverpool away. The next 4 games. They won't get a point from those 4 games. Yeah. And I can see them being around about 4.5, 4.0 to be relegated before Christmas. So if you're a trader and you want to have a bet now on something that'll be a third of the price in 3 or 4 weeks, West Ham to get relegated. I can't see them scoring in those goals. They've got no goals, they've got no striker, they're missing Andy Carroll. Antonio's the only one scoring for them. And I love Tottenham to win this game to 0. I can't see West Ham scoring. Tottenham to win to 0 for me.
Not a bad bet at all. I tell you, you're right about their defence. So they've only conceded 2 goals at home, 6 in total, best in the league. Under 2.5 to under 3 option that Pinnacle is offering right now, 2.04. So that's my bet for that match. I don't see West Ham scoring as well. Actually, that's a good. I like that Tottenham win to 0.
Exactly. And our friends at Pinnacle, they have the biggest limits. I use Pinnacle, and I might be bringing out the wheelbarrow on that one on a Tottenham -1.
Right. Middlesbrough versus Chelsea. Middlesbrough 6.63, Chelsea 1.57, the draw 4.26. Must win for Chelsea. They're second, 1 point below Liverpool. So if we think obviously that Southampton will beat Liverpool, Chelsea will take their spot if they win. Middlesbrough in 15th. I like Chelsea in the over 1.5 goals, but my bet for this match is Chelsea -1, and that's 2 with Bet Victor.
I know, and I think Bet Victor's a bit losing his mind giving out that price, because I think that's a great price as well.
Yeah, I do.
That is what I'm on. I can't believe it, Nigel. Is this a trap?
I think Chelsea. I think Chelsea look the real deal. I mean, they've got the manager's got the best out of the best 2 players, Hazard and Costa. He reverted to a back 3, and since he reverted to the back 3 in 5 Premier League games, they haven't conceded a goal. And they've scored They've scored 16 goals in those 5 games. They're looking so good. I just can't see Middlesbrough scoring. And I'm going to play. We're all singing on a very similar same page here, but we're going for different bets like we did in the West Ham game. I'm going for a Chelsea win to 0, which is 2.5. I think that's a fantastic bet. I just can't see Middlesbrough scoring. They haven't scored in 5 Premier League games, and this Middlesbrough side with an awful attacking threat aren't going to score against recently the best defence in the Premier League.
We are all singing on the same hymn sheet. We are.
That's the only one thing that scares me about it is the price is like a bit too Captain Obvious, isn't it? But I mean, sometimes they've got to put it out there. The punters have sometimes got to win. And again, I'll be smashing that one. Be improving the record steadily and slowly.
All right, now that brings us to our Monday Premier League fixture here.
Another beauty.
Yeah, West Brom versus Burnley. West Brom 1.97, Burnley 4.7, the draw 3.24. Last meeting at Burnley ended 2-2. I think we'll see goals in this fixture, over 2.5 goals, 1.7. You think we're going to see goals?
I don't think we'll see many goals. I mean, I don't know what the Monday night football. We're not really being spoiled with, are we? These games. This one, I'm going to call this one. This is probably the easiest money of the weekend. This one will be a draw.
Nige, what's your prediction for the match?
If you look at what you're basing your theory of goals on stats, and in the last 10 games between these two sides, 9 of them have seen over 2.5 goals. So. It is a game that really does usually see goals. And that's probably why the television cameras have decided to go there. But I think they're going to be left bitterly disappointed. I won't be watching this game. I'll be watching something else on Monday night. You probably paint dry rather than this. I think this will be very low scoring. It's a captain obvious play, but under 2.5 again, at rather short price. Looks the only play for me. Tony Pulis, but away from home, I'd make a big case for Burnley at home, but away from home, they haven't won a game. They don't score hardly any goals away from home. All their big matches are done at Turf Moor. All their big wins, Everton, Liverpool, all at home. Away from home, they don't score. They lose pretty much every game. I'm going for under 2.5 goals in this match. But I could have no confidence in backing West Brom either. So it wouldn't be a surprise to me to see a 0-0 draw. The other thing as well, just one thing, the weather in the UK is starting to get very cold at the moment.
Oh, dear.
Hard to imagine from here in Costa Rica, I have to say, Nigel.
Exactly. But what you tend to find when the weather does dip very alarmingly over the last 15 years of looking at Premier League football, since the start of Premier League football, the total goals usually come in unders in the first 2 or 3 weeks. It sort of changes around November time, and then it goes back up again, like the curve turns round. So this could be a good week, I think, this weekend, to play the under goals pretty blindly in the Premier League matches, because the weather conditions are changing. It's getting very wintry. There's been a threat of snow a few days ago.
Cold, knobbling knees running around the pitch.
We didn't have obviously
red noses
to the international rig, but this is the first week back, and I think you could see a lot of low-scoring games.
Well, let me say something about this. If you follow my advice, my friend, if you don't follow my advice, you'll be there in the wind and rain, crying in your warm beer. What I will be doing, I'll be on the Caribbean this weekend, sipping on cocktails, counting all of my money, because this week of picks, I just think are going to be absolutely amazing. I'm more fun about this week than I have been all season. So really, really follow me this weekend, and I'll be here gloating next weekend, doing a victory dance.
An even worse loser, eh?
Like I always say,
winner.
show me a good loser, I'll still show you a loser. I don't like losing, Natalie. I like winning.
All right. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching this week. Stay tuned again. Next week, we will be back. Week 13 rundown. JJ, Nigel, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Natalie.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.